Hi everybody, I'm Chuck Garvey with Moog.
Is Al Schnier. I play guitar with the band Moog. We're doing our sound check now in Chicago at the Riviera Theater.
Anyway, back here the amps that I use are made by Tony Bruno. This one is basically, it's an AC30 type circuit, but he's kind of over-designed it, add some headroom to it. It's a loud amp, and he made it louder. But it's pretty awesome.
Coming over here, you know, this is sort of the last part of what I have going on. These are amps made by a great builder in North Carolina named Paul Gussler. The amps are made by a company called Oldfields, and both of these are handmade. The
other amp over here, it says it's a Pony 50, but it's actually a high power Tweed Twin clone, like an 80-watt Fender Tweed Twin. I kind of go back and forth between the two. It's one or the other is my backup at this point.
Just over the years, we've come to appreciate that, you know, starting with our pickups all the way through the signal chain, like every little piece of the puzzle actually makes a difference.
This is my pedal board, which is kind of ever-changing. Source Audio makes this thing, which is Soundblocks Pro. It's a digital distortion that it doesn't model, but they figured out some algorithms that are really different than traditional distortions or like a fuzz or a tube screen. So you can really kind of control and shape the sound. There are a lot of possibilities with it.
Got an old full-tone wah pedal here. This is a tinny overdrive pedal made by Paul Cochrane, who I believe is down in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wah pedal. This is a Univibe clone. Analog band bi-compressor. This is two different compressors in one pedal.
It's one of the early Zvex Fuzz Pro pedals, one of the coolest fuzzes on the planet. This copper plate, you can see that red light there, sort of acts as a theremin to control. It kind of works as like an oscillator for the fuzz. Very cool.
This is like a Rangemaster clone called the Beano Boost, used by Eric Clapton on one of the famous recordings that he did with John Mayall called the Beano album. But it's basically like a treble booster, but it really drives the amp and makes a darker amp sound brighter, and it adds mids and harmonics. It's a pretty cool pedal.
This is actually an analog delay pedal that was custom made from the Build Your Own Clone website. So it's just a website where you can either download schematics or whole kits, and you can just build your own clone. Just a cool analog delay pedal. Another analog man pedal. This is the bi-chorus.
This is a Moog ring modulator, and I use it to make some really kind of bizarre ring mod sounds, but it also makes a really great tremolo, and you can also kind of get some synthesizer type sounds out of it, so I kind of use it to make my guitar sound not like a guitar.
This is a pedal that I'm working on now. It's based on an old Schaller tremolo, and I've just been sort of modifying it almost on a daily basis at this point, just sort of tweaking and improving the design, and once I sort of get it to the point where I really like it, I'd like to clone it and actually make a couple more just so I have some backups. But as you can see, it's sort of a work in progress.
And this is my delay. It's a full tone tube tape echo. Yeah, there's a 1/4-inch tape running around in there, and you record the signal on it, and then it's picked up on another head. So it's cool. It kind of degrades the sound in a very pleasant way. So it's one of my favorite delays.
The most important thing in my signal chain right now is my Peterson tuner. You know, I can't emphasize enough how important it is, especially in a band setting where we have keyboards, acoustic instruments, guitars, mandolins. There's a great joke about mandolins. You know, the only time a mandolin is in tune is when it has one string on it.
And this is the trusty Peterson tuner, without which all the rest of it would probably not sound quite as good.
Regardless of the amount of work that we're putting into the instrument, as the climate changes, even in the venue, and the humidity changes and the temperature changes, you know, the instruments are just changing drastically. So it's important that we have a good tuner that we can count on, and even in the middle of a jam, you know, I can grab 2 seconds to myself if something sounds squirrely to me, and just go to my tuner, check the intonation, check a note, and then just go right back to playing again. And I just get that 1 silent second to myself where I can just go, yep, my G's cool, that wasn't me, and I keep playing. Must have been somebody else or whatever.
I've always had a pretty good ear for tuning. That kind of came about just from ear training and listening to a lot of music and trying to play with other musicians. And anytime you get 2 musicians together, they have to be speaking the same language and they have to be in tune with each other. Otherwise, it's very difficult to communicate. So having a good tuner really helps that out, and I think it really helps you kind of evolve as a musician.
Or just know, and it just gives you a peace of mind, knowing that, you know, you're doing everything you can to sort of make the best music that you possibly can.
Thanks a lot, Peterson.
I can actually retune the oscillators as we go, especially when the whole band is rocking out and you've got an instrument that has several different possibilities. So I can tune